The next point that I wanted to touch on, and we're going to be in chapter 6, is love and forgiveness. So, verse 27, chapter 6, love your enemy, do good to those who hate you. And then chapter 6, verse 33, and if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. So what I reflected on is loving people without making them your center. Like, even when it is time for me to love again, I have to understand that, yes, I love this person, but God is the center. And I pray that I find a person that thinks the same way that I do. I think growing up and just being in society, even watching shows or TV that shows you this kind of love, and you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. And I'm not saying that you're not supposed to love your partner with all your heart. Of course you do. But God should be in the center of that. Because if God's in the center, then you know that you're doing things right. Of course there's going to be ups and downs, there's going to be mistakes on both parties, but that's where forgiveness comes in, that's where grace comes in, and without God in the center, those things don't happen. You end up arguing with each other, very upset, maybe saying something you didn't mean, and if God was in the center of that, first, a lot of things wouldn't happen in the first place. Second, but I would give my partner a lot more grace and a lot more forgiveness. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a very forgiving person, and I feel like I give people a lot of grace, but however, that has to be a reciprocated thing. Like, we both have to be in that setting. We both have to give each other grace. We both have to be forgiving. And if God is not in the center of that, most of the time it's just like a tug of war thing, like maybe one day you're being graceful but the other one's not, and I know that sometimes relationships are like that, where it's a tug of war thing, but I think certain areas like grace and forgiveness should never be a tug of war. It should be grounded, both of us. Other topics and other concerns may be a little bit of a tug of war at first, and then hopefully we can be on the same page, but